Hi, this is Quisha, Cynthia, Tanya, and Abby.
Hi.
We're back again this week with another video about just an open discussion about things going on in our nation right now, some changes we've seen, and how we feel about it, and how it is affecting us right now. To start the conversation off, I am at Menards, which is a large name home improvement store, and I just want to show you guys some of the effects of the things going on now, the riots and looting, and how Menards is being prepared while practicing social distancing. We're still wearing masks. They have all this wood up to their windows to prevent people from getting in, to prevent their windows from being shattered. And it goes all the way down to the end of the building. Here they have security here. They have big signs. They have wood prepared right here for when they close. They put this up at their entry door. And at their exit door, they have wood down there ready. The other entrance down at the other end, I'm gonna try to walk down there. Excuse me, I don't mean to recording people. The garden center entry is completely closed off. No one can get in and get out. There's only one way in and one way out of the parking lot. They're prepared very well, I would say, for anything that may happen, any rioters, any looting. I want to try to get a shot of the parking lot of how it's barricaded in, and you can only get in one way. And they have a lot of police presence in their parking lot and a lot of security presence in their parking lot, just to make sure that they're safe, their workers are safe, their shoppers are safe. If you can see down there, this is the one entry that is totally blocked off. You cannot come in, you cannot go out. There's only one way in and one way out. That is to help slow down any unwanted traffic, any unwanted rioters or looters. So I come to Menards quite often as a consumer, and I normally always feel very safe here. I always feel very comfortable, and I still feel safe now. It's just, kind of weird to me to see the measures that they have to take to keep me safe and to keep themselves safe and to keep their merchandise safe. But I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that they're still open. It's just a change that is going on right now that we kind of just have to live with and accept it as our new normal until things start to change in a different manner. But I can't say I was shocked when I came here and the entryway was closed. And then we had to go all the way around to just get in one way. But it's what you got to do right now. So I just wanted to give a little bit of a visual of what we were talking about to show, how things are changing in our nation and our new normal. I'm walking around with a mask on in a store that is heavily secured and trying to keep everybody safe and keep everybody 6 feet apart at the same time. So I don't know. I think one of my greatest fears is that I'm going to be kind of come numb to things that are going on right now, and I don't want to become numb. I still want to remain aware. I want to remain active. I want to keep this feeling of something has to change. We need to do something better. I don't want to become complacent with, oh, this is just our new normal. No, I want the things that are going on to actually impact change and to create change and create some racial equality and racial equity. Like we really need that as a country after years and years of inequality and injustice against Black people historically. So I don't want to become numb. I want to actually continue to be aware. Be annoyed annoyed to the point where I want change to happen. And now I'm going to continue to advocate for change and continue to fight for change. But I'm not the only person talking. Y'all can unmute yourselves and kick in whenever y'all want to. It's an open conversation format.
Well, what I wanted to talk about is that the looters, the one was breaking in all the different businesses and stores and stuff. They didn't know that it was a drone hovering around them, and the drone took a lot of pictures of people that was doing the destruction and things like that. So they have already begun to arrest several people. Like, for instance, one lady had took a big mattress and she had somebody to help her put it on top of her car. I don't even know if she lost it on the way trying to get home because she didn't even have anything to tie it down. And then she kept stopping because she was short of breath because, she was kind of thick woman. So, and she could trying to carry this big, huge mattress. So they have already found her and arrested her and arrested several people that was, wreaking havoc all throughout the country. And then there was another lady, she was walking down the street. She had, I forgot the name of the store they had looted, but she walked out with a big old cheesecake in her hand, like it actually belonged to her. It was nothing. So I also hope that change come from this because it really bothered me to actually witness and see on television how George the things that he was saying before he passed and how he cried out to his mother. And a lot of people don't know his mom had died like a month before. So that really touched me. That really touched me deeply to witness that.
I don't know if you guys. I don't know if you guys have heard that George Floyd, they done an autopsy on him, and they found out that he had the COVID-19. So right now they're like testing a lot of people that were in contact with him. He was positive, and he didn't. I guess he didn't know he was, but that he was positive. So that's the big thing now. They're testing people to see if he may have it or not, because he's been around a lot of people by him not knowing what was going on with his health.
See, I have a problem with believing that.
You do?
Yeah, like I feel like our media and our government officials feed us so much crap and things to try to divert us from real issues and problems and situations that I have a real hard time believing that he was positive. It's very possible, but I just have a hard time believing it because I feel like it's anything to distract us from the topic at hand. Like, what does it matter if he was positive now? He's passed away, and it wasn't from COVID-19 complications.
Right.
It was because he was murdered.
Exactly.
The only reason I question it, is it true or not, is because I noticed that in his funeral, his casket was basically closed. So someone asked me, like, why is his casket closed? They're not showing his body. And I thought to myself, well, maybe it's because he's positive. So I'm thinking that's probably the reason why his casket was casket, is because he is positive. So I don't know. The media is giving this information, but who really knows, is it true or is it false? But
and I didn't like the fact that the first examiner that did the autopsy, I don't think they told the truth about how he died. They tried to blame it on the fact that he had heart disease. That it had nothing to do with the fact that this officer was on his jugular, on his throat for almost 9 minutes, and then the other two officers was on his back.
Yeah, but they ruled that out, that it was not his heart. It was due to them being on his neck. They ruled that
But
out.
that
But if they
that
hadn't
goes
had a
to,
second autopsy,
but
they
that
would
goes
have
to
never
my
knew the truth.
that goes to my point, Cynthia, that it's hard for me to believe stuff that they put out there, because first they tried to tell us who anybody who saw anybody who saw the video clearly could see what caused his death.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Anybody who
Yes.
watched it, anybody who saw a picture, if you saw a still picture of it, you can see the pressure that was on this man's neck. And that's why it's hard for me to believe the things that they say, like, oh, he was COVID-19 positive. He may have been, but what does that have to do with this situation?
Right.
When it's hard for me to believe, because y'all tried to tell us that this man died because he had coronary, what is it? What did he have? What did it say? That he had like underlying all these underlying issues and stuff. Like I don't. What do those underlying issues have to do with anything? Because he could have had those for years and years and years, and nothing would have happened to him.
Yeah.
And
He
you wouldn't
probably
have
would
been
still
out
be
here.
alive today with it.
Yeah, he had it
Living
for
with.
years. He had it for years. He
It,
had it for years. Yeah.
it takes away from the fact that like he died brutally by police brutality.
Yeah, exactly. Happy.
But I like the fact that they gave them second degree murder. I love the fact they did that, because third degree murder was not it. So they upped the degree to second degree murder, which is much better than third.
A charge
is not a
actually
conviction.
being sentenced or found guilty is two different things. You can try people with whatever you want, but the real change and the real proof in the pudding will be: are you gonna actually find them guilty? Are you gonna actually give them time in prison that they have to actually serve? That'll be the real testament to if minds were changed, if hearts were changed. Because they charge people with stuff all the time. They've charged the police officer in the Laquan McDonald case with stuff. They get the lowest sentence possible. Like, I'm still waiting for it to see what the end result is going to be.
Right, because he got less than 7 years for shooting a man 16 times.
Oh wait, maybe can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you now. I'm sorry, it was me.
So wait, where
did Tanya go?
I don't know.
I think she got dropped.
Well, we're having some. Tanya got dropped. Hope she'll get back with us, y'all. Yeah, Aggie's at work. See the things that are going on now. Our internship is a little unorthodox, but we're getting those hours in there. So y'all bear with us as y'all watch the video. We are all doing different things.
Yeah.
I wanted to say to you, Cynthia, when you mentioned the lady with the mattress and the lady with the cheesecake, do you feel like, how can I pose this question? Like there's a difference in need in that situation when you look at the two things that they were stealing? Like one person was stealing a mattress and one person was stealing a cheesecake. Do you think that?
I think the person that was stealing the mattress needed that mattress. Yeah, she definitely needed that for her to be trying to carry that big old huge mattress.
Right. And I think it's like I watched a video earlier of a guy. He was like, this is like the perfect storm. You think about, most of the people who are out there looting come from below the poverty line. Not saying all of them, because there's people out there that have money that steal every day. It's just something about it that they do. But a lot of people that were out there looting come from below the poverty line. And then on top of that, you put the pandemic where you can't go to work, you can't get money, the funds are limited, things are going on, stresses are real, and you can't, stores are closed, you can't get anything. And it makes me think some of these people are out there from like pure need of things that they need. But someone stealing a cheesecake, you could have done without that cheesecake. You ain't need that. That was opportunistic.
It was a pretty big cheesecake too. It wasn't a slice.
It was from Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Stop, it was
And that's
not.
They didn't have a
and that's
box or anything to put it in, huh? They
It
just brought
wasn't
it
a
out in their
slice.
hand.
It was a big round cheesecake.
and their
Oh
cheesecakes
my
are like
God.
this
And it
thick.
wasn't in a box.
No box or nothing, huh?
It wasn't in a box. She had it in her hand like she paid for it.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
one. It was one man. He had a double stack wash machine and dryer, and it was on wheels. He was pushing it down the sidewalk. A wash machine
And
and
then,
dryer.
and you know what? They show where cops was busting out windows too. Now, why they haven't addressed that? They busting out cops and they
Yeah.
doing things that's they doing things that's not right. That's against the law. Like when they push down that 75-year-old man and try to lie and say he tripped, and then you
I'm
saw
so
blood
glad
gushing out of
you
his
brought that
head, and they just kept on walking.
up. Uh-huh.
And so now they trying to say they pleaded not guilty. How do you plead not guilty when you clearly pushed the man down? 75-year-old man. Now he's in a hospital in critical condition.
What about the four ladies that was in the truck? They basically beat the car up, beat them up, tortured them,
And
and
put that knee on their neck. That's the one you're talking about?
yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, well, what happened? I didn't hear about this one.
It was four women in their truck, and the police came to the truck, pulled over, came to the truck, and just began to like beat on the trucks with the clubs, and open up the doors and flung them out. One lady fell on the ground. He put his knee in her neck. The same exact thing that was done to George Floyd. He did to this woman.
So
Mm-hmm.
you know
Wow.
what that makes me feel like? That makes me feel like no lessons have been learned, no
No,
mindsets have been changed, and I don't feel like this is over because things like this keep happening. Like they
Yes.
just said a few days ago, the police killed another black man in Florida.
What?
Like
I
things,
What?
I
did.
didn't hear that one.
yep,
They
yep, I
So
read it.
made a 9-year-old girl in the face too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, she was bleeding and everything, and
She
she
was
might be blind. She don't know if she'll ever be able to see again.
they killed it was a white lady that was protesting. She was peacefully protesting. They sprayed the pepper spray directly in her face. She had asthma and she died.
Oh my
And
God.
this is the police.
this
So
just happened.
hmm,
This just happened. What you talking about?
this happened in Ohio.
Oh
Oh my
wow.
God. I didn't know about that.
Oh
I'm
man.
I'm trying my best not to read all the things and watch all the
Yeah.
videos I post because
I'm
it's
livid because I
uh,
have asthma.
You know. You know
That's
what
just
it seems.
horrible.
You know what it seems like to me. It seems like to me, since we have this big protest, it's like they're basically saying to me that they're mad because of the protest and what's going on. So they're like being defiant. So they're basically to me saying, well, hey,
Yeah.
I'm I'm gonna do what I want to do, no matter what you say. So it's
You
like the more
Right.
they're protesting, the more they're being the other people are being defiant. And they basically send us a signal that basically I'm still gonna do whatever I want to do. That's what it seems like to me.
And I think they should fire all the police cops, and then and that's how you weed out the bad ones. The ones that has a record and all that, those are the ones that would not get rehired.
So I'm glad you guys brought that up because you know what I heard yesterday from actually my boss here at work was Donald Trump on July 4th wants to do like a military march. And I don't know if that would like involve police officers too. Probably like military police, like he did with, what happened at that church. Um, but he wants to do like a military march, and dictators are really notorious for doing that as like a showcase of power.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't
he
even
that
understand that.
He think he Hitler.
he it basically is.
Because you see
Yeah.
how he held that Bible? Hitler held that Bible the exact same way. He wanted to do a photo op in front of a burnt down church.
That was after he threw tear gas into a crowd of peaceful protesters.
Yes.
Donald Trump
Yes.
threw tear
Oh yeah.
gas.
Well, not
Uh,
him personally, but like he had his military police do it. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Just so he could get
mhm.
do a photo op.
Right.
What?
Yeah, he needs to be impeached again. And this time make it
Not dead
stick.
yet.
I was gonna
Again,
say this time they actually need to vote him out.
they need to vote. They need to just get rid of him, not even impeach him.
Like they
Like,
doing this protest, they need to come in 60,000 and everywhere, just like they doing right now, and vote him out.
So
'Cause
that's
how
supposed
can
to
people
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Abby?
No,
No,
you
go ahead.
They're doing like a whole new I saw it yesterday on Instagram. They're trying, and I don't know how well this will work because Texas is a very like red state.
mm,
But now they're doing this movement called 38 for 38, I believe it's called. But it's like they just need 38 blue votes in the Electoral College to win over Texas. Because that's like their biggest, I guess, that's where their biggest support comes from.
I believe
Yeah.
it. Texas, yes.
Don't
So
nobody want that fool back in office.
A
no,
lot of
Not
people actually want him back in
I
office.
know. I can't
What
the,
are
believe
you
the
serious?
uneducated ones,
What
only
are you?
the
Are you?
uneducated ones,
That's
the
something you.
uneducated white folks.
Is
Those
that
Well,
are
something
the
you
what I'm
ones.
know?
saying is, it's even educated white people
people who get
because
off of him or too dumb to realize what he's doing are the ones who favor him.
Mm-hmm.
yes, or just being honest, those who are racist and don't care.
I
Right.
guess you said they're not
Right.
doing.
There
They're not
are a
doing.
lot of white Americans that are racist and don't care. There are a lot of Mexican Americans that are racist and don't care.
Yes. Yes.
I've been racially assaulted by more Mexican people, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yes. You're
Because
correct.
they come over here and they think they are better than us. And
Right.
but you didn't even come over here legally.
But
But you know,
the thing is, the reason why people can come here and feel like they're better than the black people that live here is because that's what our nation feeds them. That's the image that our nation gives
yes.
them. We are
Yes.
the low of the low.
Yes.
Anybody is higher than us. Anybody is better than us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a narrative that has to change in America, or it's gonna be forever be a uproar, a riot of it's
Bloodshed.
bloodshed because it's only so much time that
Exactly what's
people
going on
will
now.
be peaceful.
Yes.
And I think the time. I think the time is. I think the time is now. Is people are brewing. It's like is the cup is full is boiling over. You know,
Yeah.
because
People are tired.
today you find more. Today you found more people loving each other of all different nationalities, marrying each other, having kids by one another. So now they get to know us for themselves, and they're loving on us even more because of the mixed races coming together like that. So you're gonna find as time goes on, it's gonna be even more riots if they don't change because more
Right.
people are gonna mingle and marry each other and make kids, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Right.
You can't.
Mm-hmm.
They can't stop. They can't stop it.
Right.
It's too late. It's too late.
So they better make some serious positive changes and make them quick.
I feel a lot of hope for our upcoming generations. I feel like they will enact a lot of change, like
Yeah.
the millennials and then the generation after millennial. I don't know what that generation is
I think
called.
it's Generation Z.
I was gonna say the Z or something like that. Yeah, I think that they are the ones who are going to push really hard for change because they're more open. They're more open racially. They're more open sexually. They're just more
Yeah.
open,
Open.
different kinds of people. They're
Yeah.
more
Mm-hmm.
more forgiving. They're more inviting. But I don't know if our nation can really stand waiting until these people get into places before it erupts in a worse way than it already has.
Right.
I think it's already. I think we're already there. It's just moving slow. We're already actually there, but it's gonna advance even more because you see the young generations. They're the ones that they're the ones that's like dating each other. Dating everyone, having kids by everyone. So you will see, and then you see, it's not gonna be always. You know what? It's not gonna always be the Anglo-Saxons on top because we are mixing and mingling together. We are having kids together. Eventually, that's gonna fade. As that it's gonna fade, whether they want to not, it's gonna fade. Everybody's gonna be mixed up in a minute.
But
Mhm.
you know what? It's not only just about mixing races and being loving. It's also about the power, the money, the social status. Like Black people don't really own much of anything. Everything
Yeah,
that is big. If you think of Chase Bank, you think of all the major grocery store chains, all these banks, all this wealth, Wells Fargo. These are all rich white men. And they pass that money down generation to generation, that wealth, that ownership down to their families after generation after generation after generation. How can we get on an even playing field where we as Black people can have generational wealth that we can pass down to our kids and things that we can own and places that it's like very few Black people that own major corporations, that own places that wield them money and power, because really that's what America is about, building on money and
Right.
power,
but we
and
have to,
that feeds racism.
but we have to start small. We have to start small. We don't even, as we don't even like we have mortgages on our houses and stuff. But how many of us pay our mortgages off and leave our houses and homes and business to our kids? So we have to start with the small things and work our way up. We need to start at the base, at the foundation. First of all, it's wealth in our houses, our homes. Do we pay our homes off? I had a realtor give me help me buy my house, get this house. I paid in cash, but she said that's the biggest problem is our race. We don't buy homes and pay them off. We think,
Wait,
well, we
okay,
live in
if you
America.
live below the poverty line, how can you buy a house? If you get paid $3 less than your white counterpart and you're doing the same job, how can you afford to pay your house off, still feed your kids, still dress yourself, still eat
Yeah.
yourself? How and have a car to get back and forth to work? It's an unfair
Yeah,
playing.
See,
Right.
for
I
me,
see that. I see
yeah,
I,
that.
it's true.
I think it all, and that's where the problem starts, at least I think, is like in politics and the economy.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
I also think those go hand in hand. So I really think the root of a lot of our problems and equality is in politics.
And then,
Mm-hmm.
like Reverend Shopton, did I say his name right? He said they have had they foot on our necks for 401 years.
401 years, you said?
Yes,
Yeah.
401
When
years.
they tried to abolish slavery, you saw what people tried to do. There was a whole
Mm-hmm.
civil war.
It was a whole bunch of lynching and everything. Yeah.
Right.
It's
Because they
it's
make money off of oppression.
it's the
You
same.
ever heard the
Just
saying,
like
rich stay
uh
richer and the poor get poorer?
Yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
They
like
make
did y'all
income.
hear about the black mayor that went to Chase Bank? They called the police on him, and he's the mayor of that town.
What?
How do you call the police on the mayor?
Because
And
he
they
was
only did it because he's black.
because he went to the
It's,
bank.
Yes,
That's
it's just so
because
many
he
different.
because he deposited over 6 figures, and no, it was over 10 figures in the bank. If I was him, I wouldn't even do business with Chase
I
Bank
would. I
anymore.
wouldn't be
I would
bothered.
take the money out and go to a different bank
Yeah.
because that wasn't right. Because he could have lost his life. He could have lost his life. This just happened yesterday. He could have lost his life.
So
I'm telling you,
when the police got
a lot of this stuff
And
is
then the
retaliation.
trigger happy cop.
A lot of this stuff is retaliation because of what's going on. It's not by coincidence we have this protest and now everything is basically people just going crazy. It's not coincidence that this is happening. It's like retaliation.
Mm-hmm.
but Tanya, this been going on. They've
I'm just
been
saying,
calling police.
I'm just
Barbecue,
saying is they're
black
doing it
people
more.
barbecuing outside, they calling the police.
Yeah,
Yep,
if
it's
you
been going
walk your
on. What I'm
dog,
saying
they
is,
call the police.
it's been going on, but what I'm saying is, you think because what happened to George Floyd, they were like, calm down, but instead they're even pushing more hard since that happened.
But why would you think it would calm down when it happened to Tamir Rice, when it happened to Sandra Bland, when it happened to all these other people, Eric Gardner? It has happened over and over
and
over,
over and
and
over.
nothing
And,
has
and
changed.
Philando Steele and
So
Breonna.
what Breonna Taylor? What
Yeah.
what? My question to American society is, what is it going to take to see Black people as humans? First, just see them as humans, and then let's talk about seeing them as your equal.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's the problem.
See, and unfortunately, I don't think that we will see it today, because we're definitely seeing more of it today. But I don't think everybody's going to, because there are so many like older generations of people still around who still like have their old ideologies. And that's like with politics too. Like a lot of those people want to stick with the old way, but the old way just, it doesn't work anymore. It never worked to begin with. It's like I said, this government was built on a broken system.
But that's why we still have the old people in the Congress branch. You have the older
They need
people
to get rid
still.
of all of them. Just fire them all.
Yeah, they need to go because they're the biggest problems.
Yeah.
The older people, they're like so old and they still there.
Mm-hmm.
Some people been there 50 years, 60 years,
It's
70
like,
years.
why? Change the laws. Don't let them sit there until they die.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree.
Well, that's why they're there.
Right. Because those, they are the problem.
Yep.
All right,
and
yeah.
Right. And the racist judges, we need to get rid of them too.
So that's another step to changing it. We as a people, Black people, white people, brown people, all the people have to vote for those people who are really going to enact that change, and we have to ask those hard questions when it's time to vote. What is your stance on racial equality? What have you done to enhance, racial equality? What have you done to fight against racial injustice? Like, those are the questions we need to ask these people that want to serve us, because they're serving us. And we're voting them in time after time. We're voting in these people who don't care about a certain population of the country.
Yes. Yes.
If you want to see that change, then you have to put your money where your mouth is. When it's time to vote, dig into that. What is your stance on this? What is your stance on that? What are you gonna do? If I give you my vote, what are you gonna do for this? Not just for me, but for all of us. What are you gonna do for this race who is like historically been oppressed, historically been subject to injustice? What are you gonna do to help? Those are the questions that I want for my judges coming up, for mayors, for representatives, congressmen, senators, people. When you want my vote and you come and you do your little, what are those things, rallies, and do your tours and try to get people's votes and all that stuff, you throw these events, let me talk to you and ask you a couple questions.
Yes.
Because now it's time to put the pressure on them.
But they gonna lie. But we should look at like when you find a doctor, you could go and find out, do that doctor have, how many malpractice suits do that doctor have? What,
you could do that with representatives. You could check their whole background. It just takes you to actually go and do it. You can see if they ever had any cases filed against them, any complaints filed against them. You can see what they have donated to, things that they have stood for. But you have to do the homework as a people. You have to do the homework.
Right.
All right, y'all. We at our mark, just so y'all know.
Okay.
All right.
So, do you want to continue this conversation next time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was great talking to you guys. Thank you for watching the video. We'll see you next time. we'll continue to discuss some things that are going on in our nation right now and how we feel about it, things that we can do to enact change. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.
Thank
Bye bye.
you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.